It's a Sunday and there are 5 hours left until we close our current weekly candle, and here's the deal. If we take a look at this candle that we've printed here, we're unlikely to change it now within these next few hours, although it is definitely still possible. What we've got is a big deal. It all comes down to the bearish engulfing candle that you guys have heard me talking about a lot if you're subscribed to this channel, where within one weekly candle, this one right here, we eclipsed the previous 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of price action within just one candle. One candle erased all of that, and typically that means the price is going to go way lower. But the next week was actually kind of bullish, and the week after that is also kind of bullish, right? Because this week we actually gained a lot of upward price here. That was great. But on this week, the current week that we're in right now, we actually traded quite low. We went as low as 27.5, but we're closing a lot higher than that. We're closing $1,500 higher than that, up towards 29K. So that's a nice sign of Bitcoin's strength. And actually what it bleeds into, and this is actually quite exciting to me, is Bitcoin, if you just kind of draw a parallel channel with connecting its lows with its highs, with this exception here as a deviation, we generally are printing higher lows and higher highs. Generally speaking, that's what we're doing, and we can see that with this trend line. The fact that I can draw this trend line, and there are exceptions, like right here, but the fact that I can draw this trend line shows me that our lows are getting higher and that our highs are getting higher as well. And what that means is it puts Bitcoin in the same pattern, which generally works out. In some cases, like here, it doesn't work out, but in many other cases, this pattern does generally work out to give Bitcoin nice big pumps to the upside. And it happens on all different time frames as well. But what we're looking for is basically, and I'm trying to show you a very short-term example of this because it's happened so many times, and this is also an example that I covered with you on the YouTube channel back here. If you actually go back and watch my video that I published on the 10th or 11th of January, you're going to see that I was analyzing exactly this move and telling you exactly the same thing I'm going to say right now. And what I said back here is that Bitcoin will, it loves to enter kind of uptrends, and kind of pump into these uptrends like this, and then just keep trending up slowly until it, starts trending up quickly again, right? It just forms this pattern where we quickly move into a range, and then we slowly climb, and then we quickly move into a range again, and we follow that pattern, right? It's a consolidation pattern that is very popular, very popular with Bitcoin. And of course, if we play the chart forward, that is exactly what happens. So this is something that I was warning you guys about back here, and it obviously turned out to be 100% correct. And I'm saying the same thing now. Bitcoin's in the same pattern. It doesn't always work out, right? I showed you this example where it didn't work out here, but more often than not, especially on large time frames, this is a pretty good pattern for Bitcoin. Purely because it's just showing us that Bitcoin has pumped into this range and it just can't stop trading up. Bulls don't want to take their eyes off this. Bears are getting weaker as time goes on, and it's all happening at a resistance level. It's just showing us even more signs, right? Like I always talk about kind of reading between the lines, and I think that it's a really kind of quite solid approach to be taking in these markets when you're trying to analyze the market. Is you just kind of you take the information the market is giving you, but you also look at the things that the market isn't doing. Like the market isn't setting lower lows. You look at things that the market is doing, like it's climbing up overall. And we can start to build an image for the underlying strength of the asset. And again, this is yet another sign that's pointing in the right direction for me. To be honest, guys, I'm really struggling to find reasons to be bearish about this chart. The only real reason to be bearish about this chart is the fact that we have this horrific area of resistance that we're in right now, or that we're battling at the moment. But that's it, right? I mean, other than this very macro area of resistance that definitely probably already is a problem for Bitcoin, there isn't any other reason to be bearish on this chart, in my opinion. It is starting to look a little bit heavy. I don't like that. It does kind of look like it needs to pull back in that sense. It's not a very scientific way of analyzing things, but I think you can see the same thing here. It does kind of look like something, needs to kind of drop down. But for the most part, just as far as signs on the chart go, there are way more showing me that we're bullish than signs showing me that we're bearish. And I'm not the kind of guy that's just going to fade a really important resistance area like this. But again, when we are forming so many bullish signs, and for me, like the simple question just kind of boils down to, well, do I keep my Bitcoin position open? And at the moment, the answer is still yes, and I'm getting a lot of reasons that I should keep it as a yes. That I should keep it as a yes and allow Bitcoin to potentially rise a little bit higher while I'm holding on to that position. Because while we do have a lot of macro resistance, we're not getting new signs to be worried about this market. We're not getting new developments that are showing us we're weak. Every other sign that we have other than this macro area of resistance shows me that actually this market wants to blow. So it's not enough, and I've said this before, it's not enough kind of confidence for me to actually enter a trade right here. And I've said that before, like this is a bad entry level. If you're trading, you want to get good entry levels, right? That's really important. But it is enough for me to say that, you know what, now that my stop loss is in a profit and I'm guaranteed to make money no matter what happens on this trade, and I've already made so much money that I've secured, that I've guaranteed, that I've locked in, I'm okay with it, guys. This is kind of the thought process that I had. It's like, I'm okay with it if this risk ends up going badly and the market drops down, because right now the probabilities still seem like they're weighed in my favor. So that's the kind of outlook that I'm looking to take with my trading. Now, like I showed you, this trade actually was made with Bybit, but as you guys know, the mandatory KYC goes into effect tomorrow for Bybit. That is in less than 1 day. And if you want to take advantage of an exchange that does not require KYC, that won't ask you for a picture of yourself or a picture of your ID, you can check out BingX. It's available with the link in the description down below. You'll find that link right here, along with the Bitflex link. This is another great exchange to check out. A lot of my friends are using it, so this is worth checking out as well. But you can sign up to BingX here, and you're going to get, only for the first 50 people, this might be gone by now actually, you're going to get a $500 reward. So actually just check this. You only have to deposit 10K and you get $500 in just cash. They're just going to give you money, and you can trade with that however you like, which is absolutely fantastic. And you also have access to many other beautiful markets. If you want to take a look at them, you can head on over to the markets tab, and you'll see you've got stocks, forex, indices, and commodities also available to you in this market. So if you're interested in taking advantage of traditional finance with cash bonuses, they're actually going to be giving you over $5,000 of bonuses on top of this cool competition that they're running. So you can check all of that out with the link in the description down below, and that's where I'll be looking to make some of my next trades as well. Again, like I said, I do want to make this very clear. I'm going to continue to use Bybit. I am going to do the KYC, but I do like to have options, as you all know very well. Ethereum climbing a little bit against Bitcoin, so this is going to be interesting. I'll be taking a look at that on the altcoin channel. But for me, it's the weekly close that is the news today. It's the fact that we're still holding up, that we're still doing okay. Another week closes, and the number one thing that could have caused disaster for the market hasn't materialized into anything. That means we've basically turned something quite bearish into something that the market just kind of didn't really even care about, almost just forgot about, really, by the looks of it. So to me, that's more of a good sign. Everything Bitcoin has done here basically has just meant that Bitcoin has held its ground. It hasn't lost its ground. And meanwhile, the S&P 500 has been consolidating phenomenally well. This is a beautiful weekly chart. We've got a bullish hammer here and a bullish hammer here, strongly indicating that the market wants to break out to the upside. There is clearly something suppressing the S&P 500 from rising up, but as soon as that's gone, and it will go, as soon as that's gone, I have to expect that the S&P 500 will rise up beautifully. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. I've been wrong many times, and I'll probably be wrong again. That's part of the process. That's okay. But for me, this TA so far has been 100% accurate, even from before we even got the breakout. Since like here, everything I've been saying about the S&P 500 has happened exactly as I said it would. And that's purely because this chart just behaves in really nice organic ways. It's actually quite easy to kind of analyze this chart, and that's why the opportunity to trade markets like this with a Bitcoin deposit without KYC on exchanges like BingX is actually so powerful, because these markets stay so healthy and so tradable when Bitcoin isn't. Bitcoin's pretty hard to trade right now. The S&P 500 pretty damn sensible still with its price action, and that makes it really appealing. So this is something that I want to be ripping some trades on, and like I said, that breakout is going to be something I'm watching for. Again, at the same time, gold looking phenomenally strong. It's set a new all-time high and it's pulled back now, hopefully to just find support and then continue on rising. So I'm super happy with how gold is looking. You know, traditional finance is on our side right now. These assets are looking bullish, and I must expect that that's going to mean good things for Bitcoin. On the flip side, the dollar continuing to look weak. I'm not saying anything new here. This picture has stayed the same for an incredibly long period of time. What has changed, however, is the sentiment of traders. If we look at the long and short ratio followed by the fear and greed index, we're still sitting at 64. It's a little bit too bearish. I'm sorry, it's a little bit too bullish in my opinion. Sentiment is a little bit too strong. But what we have with the long and short ratio is even crazier. We've got a 58% long ratio with retail traders again, so they're getting very bullish again. But Bybit is actually dropping down and becoming majority short. So right now we're starting to see that these are just the fluctuations here. You know, like sentiment is changing wildly. This is the thing I've been saying, right? Sentiment is just going back and forth like an elastic band. You know, but eventually it's gonna have to snap, right? Like this kind of thing frustrates people, where you go from one end of extremely bullish to extremely bearish, but the price moves by $100. You know, that frustrates people, that tilts people, so that when the move actually comes and they lose money on that too, because they always do, you know, they're going to be even more pissed off because they were trying the whole time and the only result of all of their efforts was that they lost money. This is what leads people to quit trading and so on, you know. So you just kind of need healthier approaches. A lot of people quit trading when actually they would have turned out to be perfectly good traders had they just followed the fucking rules that they should have set for themselves in the first place, you know. And that's the kind of approach that I show you guys inside of VIP and with the 𝗬𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗚 Academy course that most of you will get for free, you know, is what that looks like for me. But then you also just see how, like, day in and day out, you know, like those of you with the yearly subscription with the free phone calls with me as well are going to know a lot about this because you've been in the group for a while. You know, like my strategy stays the same. My rules stay the same. They don't get broken. Occasionally I have lapses and I do make mistakes. I'm a normal person, but it is very rare. You know, for the most part, it's extremely diligent trading, and to be able to see that in front of you while you struggle to exercise restraint, that's actually been really valuable for a lot of our members, because you're standing side by side with me here. You know, I don't know what's going to happen in the market as well. You know, I'm just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen in the market, and I've got my plan already and I've got my position already, you know, so I know how I'm going to respond. But other than that, I'm just waiting, you know. And if meanwhile you're scrambling to make 10-15 trades as you normally would, what we often find with people that join VIP is once they get inside and they see how, in the face of all the volatility and crazy shit going on, I'll just kind of stand there ready but not actually doing anything. You know, a lot of the time that really is a big perspective shift for people. You know, the reality of trading, quite frankly, guys, unless you're a fucking degenerate day trader, which I'm not, you know, the reality for trading is that you just have to wait most of the time, you know. But for, you know, to see someone do it, it is a completely, like, I remember when I saw someone do it for the first time, it really changed my approach, because I was sitting there looking at the market moving in all sorts of crazy ways, and I was like, why the fuck isn't he trading? You know, what is he doing? But it turns out he was just kind of carefully picking his shots. I'm talking about 𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗏, by the way. He was carefully picking his shots, and when he finally managed to pull it off, it was a huge profit. And what I saw is that he made a lot of money, but all the while that everyone else was scrambling to trade, 𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗏 just didn't lose any money, right? And this is why when you guys ask me about, you know, 𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗏 and other YouTubers, I speak so highly of them, because this guy contributed massively to my learning. A lot of my trading style, a lot of my analysis style comes from him, because I learned from him. So he's an amazing trader. He's an amazing analyst. You can search him up and watch him. He's just come back to YouTube, by the way. He took like a 2-3 month break and he's back now, so that's really cool. It's good to see him back. And he's a fucking legend, so go check him out. It's that kind of approach that, yeah, will make a successful trader. You know, the opposite, where people are just trying to, you know, scramble and trade everything they can, and, you know, one day it's majority short, one day it's majority long, and so on. These are the people that lose money. You know, but for me, I'm still waiting for the range to break. Another week has passed, you know, and all we're doing is holding strong, holding steady at quite a formidable area of resistance. So I'm gonna take the W where it's there. You know, like there's a W here. The fact that we're still at resistance and we're not getting smacked back down is a win. and I'm going to take that and I'm going to be happy with it, and I'm going to continue to see how traditional finance behaves. I'm going to be expecting that breakout for Bitcoin. I will see you guys over on the altcoin channel, so make sure you're subscribed over there, and definitely make sure to take advantage of access to these traditional finance markets. You've got beautiful access to stocks, indices, commodities, forex, and of course, by the way, Bitflex, like I said, if you are interested, is another exchange which is worth considering, just because they're a lot of my friends are using it as well, and that's something that I like to that I like to see with my friends. Is I want to trade on the platform that a lot of people are using, because generally the market is pretty good at choosing a good exchange. Of course, FTX wasn't like that, and they were super popular, but these guys have got something good going. It's actually headed up by Carl, one of my friends, the Moon. You guys probably watch him. You may not like his content, but he's a good guy, and this is a solid platform to check out too. But for me, I'm gonna keep watching BingX just for now, because I have access to these other markets which I'm more interested in. I don't think, I might be mistaken here, but I don't think Bitflex actually has those other markets. So there you go. I really hope you have enjoyed this one. If you have, you know exactly what to do. Hit up the like, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. Check out BingX if you want those bonuses, you want access to those markets, or if you just don't want to do KYC on Bybit, you only have tomorrow, and that's it. Tomorrow is actually when they introduce it, so you only have today. If you have enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Hit up the like, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.